Let's talk about how you can build a personal brand that can help amplify your value. Now, whether you like it or not, your personal brand determines your compensation. One of my mentors shared this very powerful insight with me where he said, perception is reality. This is how others view you at your workplace. So I want for you to reflect on this. How do your colleagues perceive you? Is your personal brand shoddy, strong, or stellar? Your answer to this question can significantly influence the trajectory of your career as well as your opportunities for growth. If your brand is stellar, your influence is greater, your visibility is broader, and your opportunities are abundant. You will influence more, you will lead more, and you will achieve more, and you will succeed more, and ultimately you will earn more. The question is, how do you build a stellar personal brand? It all comes down to 4 key components, which I call PBF, Personal Branding Framework. Let me walk you through this framework on building a stellar personal brand. On the top left quadrant here, I call expertise. Be so good that they can't ignore you. Whatever industry that you're in, or wherever you are in your career, be the master of your craft. Be the best in your niche, and also be that go-to person. Be so good that people seek you out. Let's move to the right top quadrant. Here is what I call initiative. This is about taking ownership and act like an owner. Now, expertise alone is not enough. You need to lead, take action, and solve problems. People with strong personal brands don't wait for instruction. They take ownership. So think like an owner and have a problem-solving mindset. Just don't complain about the situation, but come up with solutions and lead by example. Set the standard for excellence. Now let's move to the left lower quadrant. This is what I call personality. Building relationships and differentiating yourself. Your technical skills may get you in the door, but your people skills will determine how far you go. So learn how to build relationships, connect with people, and make an impact. Develop your unique style. That means being authentic and also
stand out from the crowd,
as well as influence your work culture by bringing positive energy and collaborations. Let's move to the right lower quadrant. This is what I call character. This is about trust, integrity, and accountability. Be someone people can rely on. No matter how skilled you are or how charismatic you are, if people don't trust you, your personal brand will not serve you well. So always be honest and ethical. Always act with integrity. Be accountable. Follow through on your commitments. Be reliable. Be the person people trust that you can deliver results. The key takeaway here is, remember, your personal brand isn't about how you present yourself. It's about how much value you create and communicate to the marketplace. If your personal brand is shoddy, your earnings will be shoddy. If your personal brand is strong, your earnings will be high. And if your personal brand is stellar, your earning potential will be outstanding. So focus on developing a stellar personal brand for yourself. So let me walk you through another extension of the personal brand that I call the 4 C's. We've talked about creating value, learning and leading innovations, as well as building a stellar personal brand. But now let's bring it all together to this one final framework, the 4 C's. Let's talk about the first C, curiosity. If you want to earn more, you have to learn more. The biggest earners are the biggest learners. So be curious, ask a lot of questions, learn about your company's mission, vision, as well as goals and priorities, and how do you plug into that to help your organization become successful. For example, imagine you are a cybersecurity professional. Now, instead of just focus on your own task, you get curious about how cybersecurity ties to your business growth, customer trust, and also regulatory compliance. Now, instead of just doing your job, you are aligning your expertise with your company's priorities, making yourself more valuable, right? Let's move to the second C, which is consume. The information that we take in shapes our value because what we feed our mind determines the value that we can create. So it's critically important for us to consume the right kind of knowledge that makes us better. So that means that we stay updated on industry trends and also learn about emerging technologies and tools and methods, and also researching our competitors to understand what are they innovating and what can we learn from them. For example, think about a team member who is actively reading and following industry trends versus someone who is just showing up and just putting in the bare minimum. Who do you think is more valuable to the organization? Let's now move to the third C, which is connect. This is about connecting the dots and building bridges with different members across the organization, because we know that leaders aren't just problem solvers, they are dot connectors as well. They recognize relationships between trends, problems, and opportunities, and they connect people, ideas, and solutions. Now be that connector. Build relationships across the departments and don't stay in silo. Identify cross-team opportunities where teams can collaborate for greater impact. And also facilitate communication between groups that don't normally interact and spot patterns, connect problems, and connect solutions. For example, a marketing team struggling with cybersecurity risk for their campaigns. You, as an expert in cybersecurity, recognize the issue and proactively connect them with the IT solutions. Now, you added value beyond your role, right? So it's important to be that connector. The final C is contribute. This is about taking initiative and going beyond your job description. The best way to prove your value is to create value. That means that contributing doesn't happen in isolation. It is built on the first three C's that we talked about. You need to be curious, you need to consume the right information, and you need to connect the information so that you can contribute in a greater way. How can you contribute effectively? First, take initiative. Volunteer for projects that impact the organization. Second, think strategically. Go beyond your job description and your role and understand the bigger picture. And third, develop expertise. Become the go-to person in area of critical importance. For example, suppose that your company is launching an AI-driven security system. Because you were curious, you learned about the AI trends, you consumed insights about implementations, and then you connect with the right experts in different departments. Now, you're proactively volunteering to help implement the systems, and you understand the ins and outs, and you become the in-house expert. Guess what? You just added a lot of value, and your promotions and raises are just right around the corner, right? So in closing, here are some key takeaways. At the end of the day, the marketplace doesn't pay you for your time. It pays you for the results that you produce and the value that you create. So ask yourself these questions. How might I increase my case? That is knowledge, ability, skills, and experience. Also, how might I learn and lead innovation at my workplace? And finally, ask yourself this question. Am I building a stellar personal brand for myself? If not, then here's a question that Jim Rohn, the motivational speaker and teacher, asked. If not you, then who? If not now, then when? My final closing thought that I want to leave with you is from the quote from Satya Nadella, Microsoft CEO. He says, "Don't wait for your next job to do your best." Now, too often we think success comes after the promotion, after the recognition, after someone gives us permission. But the truth is, your next level starts now. You don't need a new title to create value. You don't need a bigger paycheck to think like a leader, or you don't need permission to create a powerful a stellar personal brand for yourself. So be curious, keep learning, keep making connections, and keep making meaningful contributions. Because the more value you create today, the more opportunities will chase you tomorrow. So start now, elevate your effectiveness, and make meaningful impact at the present moment. Until next time, take good care of yourself.